We just had some breaking news in the NFL. I'll be honest, I did not see this one coming from a mile away. Joe Flacco has been traded to the Cincinnati Bengals. So there was a lot of topics and conversations of how the second Joe Burrow got injured, it's like, okay, do we need to panic? Do we need to hit the panic button? Do we need to go look at free agency? Some names that were thrown out there, Jameis Winston, and Kirk Cousins. Those were the two big names that were thrown around. So the fact that we just threw that out the window and we're like, hey, Joe Flacco, you were the starting quarterback. Let's have you. Why not? Mind you, this was also, how many weeks removed are we from, hey, the Packers are going undefeated. They're going to win the Super Bowl. How many weeks are we removed from that same Browns team that beat those Packers? We did see the QB change, and we did see how Joe Flacco got benched for Gabriel. So now it's Gabriel and Sanders, two rookies. Who knows what's going to happen, man? Look at what's going on with Rattler and the Saints. Look at what's going on with Cam Ward and the Titans. It's a lot to expect. Even though, hey, Coach of the Year, with Stefanski, it's a lot to expect the Browns to be successful when right now, who's the best team in the North? Steelers. That's record-wise. I still personally think, hey, once the Ravens get it clicking, they'll probably be the best team in the North. But no, they decided to get rid of him, so now Joe Flacco's on the Bengals, and I do think it tremendously improves their chance and their opportunity to try to make a playoff push, because we'll see how they play for these, I think, 8 weeks, supposedly, because Joe Burrow's been out for, I think, 2-3 weeks now, and wasn't it like a 10-week thing? Anyways, with getting Joe Flacco, I think it gives the Bengals a little bit more optimism. I'm not saying Jake Browning was a problem. I mean, the scores kind of indicate stuff, but some things I think people will forget, and I'm trying to vouch for Browning here, is the Vikings and the Broncos have been labeled top 5 defenses. So it kind of makes sense that, yeah, if there's a guy who wasn't expecting to play all offseason and do his role as a backup to Joe Burrow, are we surprised that the Bengals are struggling as much as they are now? But I bet it's a deal. I bet it's a deal, though, that the Bengals couldn't refuse, which is why they got him, versus trying to acquire Winston from New York, because it looks like the Giants are going in the way of Jackson Dart, and it looks like even though the Falcons will have a huge win against the Vikings but then drop one to the Panthers, they'll still stick with Michael Penix, which I think is a good idea. I think Kirk Cousins' role now is probably going to be a glorified backup as well, kind of like how Heineke, Fitzpatrick, some of their careers have been. Let's just see, though. I'm interested to see where the Bengals season goes from here. Like, that Packers win, I think, could be up for grabs because everybody's overlooking the Bengals now, and they have been for the last few weeks. Where were we 2 years ago when same thing kind of happened? Joe Flacco got called up to the bigs, threw for the most touchdowns in a single month. Now, we saw how it ended in the playoffs against the Texans, but I think it definitely gives a little bit of hope for the Bengals until Joe Burrow comes back. Because if they are within playoff shot and reach of the playoffs, I bet Burrow would come back maybe a week early or something like that. Or get on that deadline of, I'll be back around Thanksgiving, and then try to make a run from there. But that's my thoughts on that, guys. What do you guys think? Be sure to let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video.